Hey, people. Maybe I should turn on the light here. Good morning. Early good morning. I'm going to turn on a little light here. Yes, I can hear. Yes, good morning, people. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Happy Saturday morning here in Rwanda. How you all doing? Yes. Just relaxing right now. Yes, good morning. Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, October, was that 26th? 26th or the 25th of 2024. And the time, wow, is 5 to 3 in the morning. Yes, I hope you all are doing well. And I want to I want to talk about some things a little sensitive for me. Um, yeah, and I was trying to locate a video, a clip from a video too, all evening, and I finally found it. But yeah, first things, yeah, my Lavender, yeah, I put his little picture up. Lavender, my doggy, he's back in the hospital again. He had a scheduled appointment, doctor's appointment yesterday, but I noticed that his appetite or what he wants to eat has changed. He didn't eat breakfast yesterday, and I even heated it up so it was nice and warm, and he refused his food. And I even tried to put it in his mouth. He refused it. The day before yesterday, um, he started to eat his breakfast and he walked away from his plate. I think he for dinner he ate some of his food. This has been going on this week. I think it actually started last part of last week. So when I brought him to the doctors yesterday, he lost weight. He was that 5.1 grams, and now he's 4.4 kilograms. Um, yeah, he's been going to the doctors once a month because he's on medication. He's on steroids. Yeah, his body is still his immune system, his blood work, his something with the bone marrow, something attacking his immunity. His own body, they said, is attacking its own immunity. My little boy was extremely healthy, and many of you know that I had three little dogs, Lily, Lilac, and Lavender. Lily and Lilac passed away in January of this year, 2024. And they all had the same thing, but the different severities. Yeah, little Lilac, she was the tiniest of all three. And she passed away first. 5 days later, her little sister, other sister, Lily passed away. And then Lavender just kept on just just going down and down. Lavender was extremely healthy dog, and 11 and a half right now. And since coming to Rwanda, he's been really not well. And I thought maybe he's on a slow road to recovery. Um, he hasn't been hospitalized, I think, since, well, he had the operation in March. I think it was, mm, I think, yeah, it could have been April, March or April, his last hospitalization. He's back in. Uh, when they saw when I told the doctor about him not eating, and it started about a week ago, and also there were signs that there was a problem, like as if he had indigestion. You smelled his food uh, being petrified. Like sometimes when you have food that's not digesting right, it starts to putrefy. and it was a bad odor. And so I thought maybe I was feeding him too much, and his body was finding it hard to digest. Um, so I gave him just a little less because he wasn't eating all of it. I noticed, and I noticed the breath, and then his teeth. I noticed his teeth is he used to have pearly white teeth. Yeah, he's not vibrant. He's not that vibrancy that he had. Now we did go out for a walk, me and Lavender, early in the morning. We took it easy. Yeah, I took maybe close to 2 weeks off. Um, yeah, there's a lot. There were a lot of things that happened to me, and so I just took it as a sign. Hey, just stay indoors, relax, and maybe you know like I say, just be more conservative about certain things and just stay indoors for a while. Um, but I was feeling okay, and I said, "Hey, let's just take a little walk because traveling he has to be, put him in his carrier, and so I wanted to get because we were going to go out. I wanted him to get a little walking exercise before we took a trek over and have him in this carrier. So fantastic walk. It was really good. Um, but yes, yeah, the walk went well. And after our walk, I got his breakfast ready, and he refused it. He's still on medication, and I can't figure out what it is, and it's really bothering me. Um, he's done this before in Rwanda, and it faded away. I feel like my arms are tied because um, my veterinarian had told me, limit what he eats because allergies and blah, blah, blah. Because back home, I'll give him little pieces of banana. And at one point, his potassium levels were low. So I said, hey, give him some bananas. Gets energy. Remember, he had lost a lot of weight. So and he didn't want to eat his regular food, but he wanted to eat some bananas. Bananas has a lot of energy, calories. Put some weight back on him. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, so I said, okay, what about liver? No organ meat. Oh, he can have allergies to that. I said, wait a minute. It's beef. If you're saying, muscle meat, it's coming from the same animal. So it'd be a kidney or liver, because I've given him the liver before. And I noticed that he seemed to get all this energy. And I was like, wow, so I'll give him some liver. And rich in iron. Um, and he was anemic. Oh, no, you shouldn't give him foreign protein. I'm getting really pissed. Really getting pissed about this. So when I saw the vet yesterday, it was the original doctor that I saw. And, she was telling me his immunity levels are going down continually. Um, but his kidneys and liver is well, but his blood is not well. And that's why he's on the medication. So the plan is um, he's going to Linda's going to stay in the hospital for the weekend. They're not going to give him the steroids, and they want to monitor what his body is doing. If not giving him um, the steroids to see how his RBC, his levels go, and if it decreases, still put him back on stronger medication, and that he'll probably have to be on this medication for the rest of his life. And yes, steroids will eventually hurt his liver. And when that happens, they said, um, what I don't want to say, to put him down. Okay, I don't want to do that. But if so, if it goes down without giving, if his blood levels continue to go down without the medication uh, by Monday, if it's decreased, they're going to put him back on the medication and he'll be on that for the rest of his life. Um, and then I started sharing my frustrations with the doctor. I asked the doctor, what is causing this to happen? All three dogs that I had. What's happening? And she doesn't know it. She doesn't have any answer. She just said, really, it's life, Yeah, it could be life. But does anyone else out there, do you know about okay, all three dogs were purebreds, tiny dogs. And I know I'm not trying to sound like an elitist that if someone has a purebred breed of dog that they're better than others. No. Your little fur baby is your fur baby, whether it's a mutt or purebred. But I'm just stating as a factual information. These were purebred dogs. They're tiny breeds. Uh, they were healthy. They were healthy when they left. You have to have exams on the dog before you leave the country, and all three. So people, I have to. I feel that I feel that something's going to happen to my little baby Lavi. Um, Please pray for him. Please, I beg you all. I love my little boy. Um, I don't know what I'll do if I lose him. Here I come to this country for the first time, thinking I'm starting a new life with my three fur babies. Two of them are gone after 4 or 5 weeks being in the country, and it happened quickly. And then my little boy is still he's getting better. Yeah, hello, Vera. Yes, please pray for my little baby boy, my fur baby, Lavender. Yeah, you saw him on the thumbnail. I love my little boy. He's back in the hospital again. His immunity levels is going down. Um, yeah, I little boy. Um, yeah, I just sense that something I look at his face and I sense that I sense the worst. And wow, I wonder what all this means, people. It seems like life is happening to all of us. Uh, People are losing loved ones, people are losing pets. What going on? Did my dogs get sick because of the vaccine? They had to be, get their shots before they left the country. Is this what's happening? I don't know. Yes, these are older dogs, but all three of them at once. So, and let's just say it was a stress issue that their body, when they were in the boarding place, um, their body shut down. That could have been, or it exasperated it. But Lavender got home, and it was just quick. It just going down rapidly. So yeah, people, if you are dog experts and experts about, or just have a knowledge about little purebred dogs going overseas, what type of things that could happen to them. Is this something that has happened to you, that the infection, bacterial infection, this and that? What could it be? And what could be done? What could be done? Why the changing of the habits of the food? Again, my dog back home, he anything. He love his food, especially you're gonna give him fresh meat. I mean, you cook the meat. Yeah, dogs love meat. So, or maybe he's just tired eating the same thing. I don't know. But my hands feel tied because of the doctor. Oh, don't give him any foreign protein. Just give him ground beef and rice. And they say, oh, you can give him some vegetables. Well, can't they be allergic to some veggies? It's like, wow. you know, I'm getting really, really angry. Um, and I told the doctor, I said, look, I mean, the vet, I told the vet, the other doctor is saying one thing about what to eat, but the dog could just be tired eating the same food and wanting other something else. I said my dog wanted to eat, like I was eating green banana, cooked green bananas, and he wanted some. And I felt stuck, like, I didn't give him, but if he's going to eat that, if he wants to eat, I'd rather just give him some, but maybe just cook a batch with no seasoning in it and give it to him if he's, to help his weight. Um, I don't know, people. I don't know. Another thing that I wanted to share with you. Yeah, I'm sensitive right now. I may lose my dog. The only thing that I have here for um, my little companion. I mean, yes, I go outside. I'm going out with my little boy and meeting all types of people here. You're having a little pooch and going on your walks. You get to meet so many more people, and I like meeting people, and I feel it's a safe way to meet other types of people. Yeah. So, yeah. Any advice regarding dogs or anything I could read about dog's immunity? Yeah, Lavender is a Pekingese, and he is 11 and a half years old now. And all this happened when he was 10 going on 11. Um, Getting perfect health growing up, and the sudden decline. Let me know what it could be. Anyone who's psychic, who has it's psychic, whatever, could to find out what happened. I don't know. I don't want to lose my little boy, but I have to be realistic that something could happen in the near future. Um, yeah, my desire. I really would like to bring him um, on a little trip with me. I would like that. I would like that. Please pray again for him, his safety uh, at the veterinarian. Um, yeah, they seem to like him there. Yeah, it's been going there now since January. It's October now, the end of October. Wow, it's stressful, people. Stressful looking at someone and you know that something's wrong. You can see it in their eyes. You can feel it, and it's his behavior is subtle. I sense it. I sense he's not as vibrant. He's not like jumping on people like before. He loved people. And he meets someone new, he wants to jump on them and greet them. Here. So, what else I want to talk about in this? Let me get some water. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yeah, what else I wanted to talk about? I was watching a program with Candace, and they're something is being talked about with what they call single women with cats. Now I have dog. I had 3 dogs, and now I just have 1 dog. And I want to show you this clip. It's just for a couple of seconds. I was offended. Yeah, I was offended, and let me just show it to you. Uh, Let me turn the camera over. I'm showing my monitor. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna turn it on. It's just, oops, I'm navigating here. I'm getting my other hand here to get the remote. Let me turn it on. It's just gonna be for a couple of seconds. Uh-oh.
I think it's quite a tell that Kamala doesn't have any children of her own. It's something that I think is concerning. I know that the left freaked out and Taylor Swift posted a picture of her with a cat when JD accurately said that you don't want a bunch of like childless cat ladies running things, and I agree with that. And I also agree that similarly in the exact same vein that it's concerning when you have basically a coalition of childless cat women and so many homosexual men, people like Cory Booker. I don't know if he's everybody knows he's homosexual, but and in these positions of power who are informing policy very removed from a certain kind of compassion. And I know people they try to make it seem like oh, women that are struggling with fertility issues. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people that have zero inclination, desire toward family, but they want power, right? And it genuinely scares me when I think about it.
Okay. That's what I want to talk. That statement is what I want to talk about. You know, yeah, so let me turn the camera around again. Okay. So um the video that was posted, what she's referring to, this is Candace Owens. Oh, the name of this video is Kamala's Fake Ancestors and Obama's Non-Black. And it's posted by Gene- Genevaz Closet or Closet. Okay, and it was posted 1 day ago. Yeah, let me just get that, let me just give the person credit who uploaded that. Okay, so that's the person who posted this conversation. But I think the original video that she's referring to is in Candace Owens' own YouTube channel. She reads it, Candace Owens, the woman that you see on the top, sitting with the gentleman, she is Candace Owens. And the guy to the is Judge Joe Brown. I think that's his name, Joe Brown. Yeah, he's he's a lawyer. Okay, let me turn it back. Okay. Okay. So she's talking about here, Candace Owens is referring to, uh, there was a video posted, uh, the, oh, what do you call it? How could I forget the name? The VP that's running along with Trump mentioned something about uh, Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is is a singer, American singer, and she is single, but she was seeing somebody, and she had a cat in her arms, a beautiful cat. I used to have cats in the past. Almost 30 years ago, I had cats. Um, Cats could be very nice. Yeah, I had some cats when I moved into my own place. They're great companions to have if you move into your own place and you get a little pet. It could be very comforting. But right now, I have a dog. So the that's uh, under Trump right now um, mentioned that some type of like how Candace is saying, a coalition of unmarried cat women. Um, wow, I am offended, and I'm offended for one. I am single, and I have a pet. I do have a dog and not a cat, but I've had a cat in the past. Many people have cats. You have singles and married people with cats. But it's the linking and typecasting that if you're a single woman with a cat, there's something wrong with you and uh, it's not balanced. Um, but also linking that with the what I call the alphabet soup community. Now you could be, I mean, I just find it very problematic, and I find it, um, I find it insensitive. Wow. Could you imagine to say it like that, a coalition of single cat women. It sounds so pejorative to me. It's very, very deprecating to people who have pets. Wow, wow. I I I love my country. I love America, but I don't like the politics. What's happening in America? That it's election season, and people just bad mouthing other people. Now you could like a candidate or dislike a candidate, and that is your choice. But to attack that because someone is a person has a cat, this famous singer, wow, it is just it's someone's essence. Character should be based on if they have children or not. That's also what I'm sensitive about because I did that video. Um, I've met people, um, and I guess especially if you're in a third world country, the roles of women around the world, especially if you live in a traditional what they call the so-called third world culture. I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm not, but the terminology that is used. But if you live in a traditional society, and I'm in Africa, women in general have children. Their roles are having children. Um, they may it's not usual. I guess that it's a question, um, but it's a question that not with it's more of a question of women um, who have some foot in the door with uh, the modern world, with technologies, who have some college or whatever education. It's that demographics that I'm meeting that may question the peasantry. They might be curious. Oh, did you come with your family? But but they don't say like, why aren't you married and why don't you have kids? And then they try to cover up and say, oh, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. Nothing. And they just like make an excuse, like they're covering up what they just asked you. And it's no, see, it's things like this that make certain women feel like they have to get married or kids because they might be erroneously asked if they're lesbian or something like that. But men don't have kids. They don't say, "Are you a homosexual?" They don't say that. But a woman, they'll it. It's insulting. Um, Again, it's relying on the women to be in certain roles. As a woman, you're vilified, and so here we have now a politics. Election season, and let's say you have some people who a person who's well known like oh, what's the name, the famous singer that I just mentioned. They had a picture of her holding a cat. Now they're vilifying her and calling it like a coalition of single um, cat women. Wow, I'm it's just a low blow. um, Women shouldn't be compelled to have children or not, um, to um, make people like them, or you can't talk if you don't have kids. See, also, you have, and I'm going to say this again, if you have someone and on top of that you have children, that is a blessing. And it's a wonderful the concept of family and children. It's a beautiful, beautiful concept. But some people hide behind the mask. they socially position themselves. They may socially position themselves in a position. Um, you have marriages that are set up, and it's set up because they know in the future they want to run for office. They want to run for office, and they know the sanctity of the imagery of being married, of what we call a family man, a family woman, a person who is married with children, and that archetype image of sitting at a table, eating dinner together, going to a picnic together as a family. Those are beautiful things. But to not really love the institution of marriage and knowing that, let's say someone is a on the down low, you have people who have fake unions meaning they're going to publicly get married, but they are not interested in each other. It's like almost like an arranged political marriage, and they may even have kids for show, but they're about politics. And they know that to say a family person and running for public office, that you're going to appeal to a lot of people because people naturally want to see family. They may not have their own personal family, but maybe they're part of a large family. Maybe they have a lot of siblings, or cousins, and they're really tied into their family and relatives. And it's a nice concept. But yeah, again, people who they don't spend any times with their kids. The kids may even be in boarding schools. They have no interest in their kids, but they want to publicly utilize kids like the Obamas. When I saw, now I did vote for Obama the first time. I did, and I openly say it. He was not my first choice, but at the time of vote, the person that I wanted to vote for was not on the ballot, and I had to make it a decision. I said, I'm going to go for Obama, and hey, I hope the best. And when he won, and then they showed him and his family, walking down that runway, and yes, I cried. It looked adorable because where I'm from in New York City, you don't see Black men with their Black wife and children walking hand in hand. And when I saw that for the first time, I cried. It looked beautiful. I was so hopeful that it would change America in a positive way, that the Black man and woman would come together, start loving each other from the heart, have their children raised a beautiful household. That was my dream. And to see that it looks like it was for show. That's what it looked like to me. As time went on, and to even hear that those kids may not even be his and hers, to hear that it's a possibility that well, what people was mentioned about Obama, that again, it's hearsay, and people can write letters, forge someone's handwriting. Who knows? But it was troubling, the letters that his former girlfriend allegedly received from Obama, telling her about his interest in them, in a sexual way. I don't know why a man would tell that to a woman, someone that you're dating or used to date. I don't know. It's inappropriate. I don't know. I don't know why people would share certain information with others. Um, so you don't really know who you're dealing with. You don't really know. And it's like some relationships are, I mean, listening to uh, Candace Owens' channel, She was again interviewing this man, Judge Joe Brown. Very interesting, the information Judge Joe Brown has. He knows some people is um, in Kamala's circle. Yeah, he knew Kamala's father, and the controversy now is if like Kamala has an autobiography, and it's coming to light that the relatives that the so-called black relatives that she shows pictures in her book are not her relatives, but could actually be staff, could be people that worked on Kamala's father's relatives' plantation, home. And we're just, laborers. And so it could be someone's identity being stolen. And more, that's what it looks like based on the data that Owens has found. Oh, Candace Owens is sharing her video and reaching out to anyone who might be an actual relative of Kamala to come forward about who her who Kamala's relatives really are. So yeah, I'm very sensitive. Um, yeah, it matters. One's one's identity, you are who you are. But and again, it is your freedom of choice, people, to vote for who you want to vote for. You may not like a particular candidate, so hey, you vote for somebody else. That's your right. That is your right. But be careful about the people who are supposedly representing you, who are deceiving you. Want they study you. You have certain groups of people, communists, who want to infiltrate America, and they study demographics. They study black communities and lingo, uh, attitudes, and if you're able to talk like them, uh, you know, pandering to them, they may like it, and so that could be the case. Um, it doesn't look good. So if someone is willing to lie about their heritage, what is that they have to hide? Always ask yourself that. Now, people who might embellish certain things about their accomplishments or heritage, but to actually obscure several generations and attribute a particular um, heritage with another face. So it's like you take a composite of someone else and then you blend it with another person and you're hoping no one would notice. Well, you have people who like to study genealogy of the presidents, president elect, or, or wannabes into certain public office. Yeah. So be careful about if someone is to lie about their heritage. And again, I mentioned before, people, you have outsiders who knows the power of the black label, black American label, and that it can open up doors for you. People who have sat, and you have mentioned this, that remember there was a man, an Asian man, South Asian man, and he didn't get into medical school that he wanted to. He slacked off. He admitted he slacked off, and that was his wording. But they have quotas in America, and the quotas is actually something to try to balance out the disparities of the education that Black Americans have in comparison to non-Black Americans. And they're trying to keep things more equal in getting a certain number of Black Americans in medical programs, you know. So this Asian man, dark South Asian, couldn't get in. So he reapplies, uses the same data, you know, scholastic data, but just changed his race that he was a Black American. And he gets in the program, but it was found out that he lied on his application, so they threw him out of the program. And with that, he starts to online verbalize his hostility towards Black Americans. Shame on you, sir, that you couldn't get in on your own. See, it's contempt for Black America. It's a contempt a lot of the new immigrants have against Black America. They want to stay in America so bad. They want to get in bad. They want every freebie available, every opportunity. They openly want to take advantage of these opportunities that America has that their own country doesn't have. So black family, Black people there in America, please be jealous for your Black race and the freebies and employment opportunities, scholarships that are open for Black Americans. Take advantage of it. You don't use it, you will lose it, and someone else would take it from you. Someone else would take it from you. Stop it. Get your sanity back and embrace yourself and start, hey, nurturing your kids to say, hey, we have these things that are available for Black Americans, a part of the affirmative action. Take advantage of them. Go for it. If you don't, you have other people who are willing to lie about their heritage just to get a taste of what's available for you. But you have to apply yourself. You have to apply yourself. Yeah. Don't say no to these opportunities. It is designed for you. And if you don't use it, imposters will use it. Okay. So that's what's happening now. Have a run, a scurrying of outsiders who are filtering into the Black community, and they're taking what is rightfully yours because you're not defending it. You're not defending the borders. And now it's like too late to defend the borders. I mean, the harm has been done. The harm has been done to you. How are you going to get out all these illegals? Yeah, how are you going to get rid of them? Yeah, and it's going to affect you and your community and more fake people. And more I see it, and if Kamala really is a, what do you call it, Indian British person and not even Black, she should be disqualified. If it is found out that those people, they should be disqualified. Because in essence, when you're applying for office, isn't that a job? Isn't the White House a job? If you lie about your identity, they should disqualify you and thrown out. And I hope if it's if Candace Owens and other people really get meet information on her true identity, I hope they disqualify Black America. You don't want anybody to take your label and then be called the first Black American woman president. That honor should only go to a person who really is a Black American woman. It shouldn't again matter about what the race is of someone, but yes, in America, race politics does exist. And you have people who pander to Black Americans because they know they'll get Black Americans as a whole vote collectively. Yes, you have other groups, but in the United States, the Black vote is a very solid vote. But interested in America, you have more Hispanics than non-Hispanic Blacks. So I don't know why they're not pandering to Hispanics. But either way, I guess the Black vote is an older vote in American politics, and that's what's being utilized to manipulate to try to win an election. But don't give it away. Don't have this person take your glory and try to pass as a Black person. And it's not the first time about people from South Asia or even North Africans. North Africans in the United States, regardless of their complexion, are immediately classified in America as Caucasian slash white race. And so they do not qualify because of that to use the Black card, yeah, because of what they classified as. You have, oh, there's somebody else. Yeah, I made mention about this woman. She got a job at the NAACP somewhere in the Northwest. She's a white woman raised by white parents who did adopt or fostered Black children. And then she did her switch. She married a Black person to get involved in the Black community. And then there was a divorce or separation, and she had kids with the Black man, that man. And then she started to separate from people that she used to associate with and started coloring her face and started sporting hair weaves and was even teaching, giving lessons on Black hair care. So here a white person has more interest in educating Black people than Black people themselves with regard to hair care. She went out her way to teach about Black hair care. Wow. But she got found out a couple of years back. I forget her name. I don't know how I could forget her name. But she was the president of a particular chapter on somewhere in the West Coast, Northwest Coast in America, for the NAACP. And she started she started mailing things to her own PO box uh, of hate, Black hate. And so she wanted to come like a victim of uh, anti-Black sentiment to win sympathy. Yeah. Uh, see, and it would be interesting what this woman's her background. What is her parents' background? I'm wondering, is she a communist slash socialist? You have people who go in and study you and intermarry. Yeah, and it was another thing like that. Yeah, you have people who steal identity, who's stealing your identity, and they have no motivation to work within the Black community, like that lady. I wish I remember her name, but yeah, she lied, and you don't hear anything about her now. Be careful about who you're marrying. Be careful. Ask about them. What are their motives? What is their motive? Yeah. You have people and they want to be associated with a Black face so that they can win votes. They can win votes. And you're not, you're not thinking rationally. We all understand as black that you want to see your face. You want to see someone that looks like you, that comes from your community. But make sure they're really coming from your community. That's what I'm saying. And make sure that their politics agrees with you. Because to just who doesn't stand for your beliefs, you're hurting yourself. Stop hurting yourself and start thinking rationally. Think rationally. It's either they're for you or against you. So if a person of a different ethnic group is for you, or that you agree with their politics, then that should be the person, and not just solely on race. But I guess if both candidates are people you don't agree with, you may feel forced to vote for somebody. Or maybe, hey, vote for yourself. Or put some other name on the ballot. But you don't have to do it, because it will be used against you. It will. And so what else? I know I'm talking about a lot of other things here. Oh, there was something. Yes, I noticed that in this same conversation, this interview, Candace Owens and Judge Joe Brown, um, it's oh, what do you call it? Oh, it's the oh, what's his name? Something Tillich, I think it's name. There was there's an anti-lynching bill that was that was tried to be passed. I'm not sure it was actually passed. It could have, but it's the anti-lynching bill, and they used the name of this infamous event that happened in American history. A young black kid from, I think he was from New York, and he went to visit. See, I don't want to get the location, but oh no, maybe he's from Chicago, but he goes, I think, down south to visit relatives, and he allegedly whistled at a white man in a dry goods store or something, and um, the friends of the woman, the woman was married, and the husband and friends of the husband allegedly murders this guy, the young black kid. He was a teenager. And so, but with a bill, they know the sensitivity that Black America has, and they play on you. They play on us. They play on us. So here, a horrific event that happened, I think it was in the 1950s, this happened, yeah, the 1950s, this teenage boy was brutally murdered by white men, and uh, they got off. They were found not guilty. But uh, they had an open casket to show people what the brutality of what his face looked like, that a human face could look like that. He was so badly beaten, and then he was thrown in water. Horrific, horrific. So that is a sensitive spot, just like it's a sensitive spot for me with little animals, little pets, and uh, that sensitivity could be targeted against, uh, in favor or against you. So, but in the case with the anti-lynching bill, I know that because of the sensitivity that um, people, a lot of people of a certain age know about that case. And so if you name a bill using that man's name, the victim's name, and it's about anti-lynching, but it's not a lynching. That in the sense with what happened to Tillich. But they're including in this bill, the anti-lynching bill, and including one's sexual orientation, people, in this anti-lynching bill. Why is these bills being passed? And it's not about black people. It's not about you, black folk. But they're presenting it as a bill to protect the lives of black people and special punishment if you do a hate crime like that against black person, lynching, but it's not about lynching. If and Judge Joe Brown, who I was just talking about, Judge Joe Brown in America, let's say, according to Judge Joe Brown, let's say you have a girlfriend and you have a little spat with her, and you go out with your friends, your buddies. You go to the guys go to a strip joint or whatever, where some men like to hang out and meet ladies. And you meet a lady at that club or whatever, and um, you're about to get intimate with this alleged woman. And then you notice that this person think it's a woman is a man. Okay. And that that male that was deceived then beats up that wannabe female, someone who is impostoring a female. Okay. Uh, you'll be considered someone in violation of the anti lynching bill. If you beat up now, it's a component about sexual orientation. And if you do something, could you believe that? And why I'm mentioning this, people, is that, okay, um, Kamala Harris has the person that is leading her campaign, the person in charge of her campaign for presidency in the United States, is someone that looks like a man dressed as a woman. And that person, a she man as I call it, is advising Kamala. Don't you think they might be advising what type of bill to pass? Hello? Hello. Do you think that that man is advising her what bills to promote, what not to promote, to protect their interests? Just like Obama, when Obama got in office, whose business did he pamper? But the same type of person, the what I call the soupies or the alphabet soup people, who are who are being used and dominate American politics now. That the people that you see running for these high positions seem to now always be associated with the alternative lifestyle people and are utilizing Black Americans to push their agenda, to get them in the White House and then have them pass legislation to protect the rights of alternative lifestyle people, but are using the bill such as the anti-lynching bill and using the name of the guy Tillich, I think his name Tillich Hill. I don't remember his full name, but Tillich. But the guy in the 1950s, the teenage boy who went down south and allegedly whistled at a white lady, and he was brutally murdered. And then they passed this, or want to pass this bill in Congress. So you have people who have white guilt who will be willing to pass this bill if it's not passed, or you have black folk, who are sensitive because they have people they might be from the South and they knew about the case that happened, and those white people got off murdering this poor teenage boy. So this happens, and this happens a lot. People are utilizing Black people for their own agenda, for their own war, and that war oftentimes is against Black Americans. Black Americans do not benefit by this anti lynching bill because it's not designed to protect the lives of Black people, but the alternative lifestyle people, or the soupies or alphabet soup people, who somehow get in these high positions or somehow somehow have access to people who are up there in government, like Kamala Harris, a person who's in charge of her campaign, is that you go look at her. You go look if you don't believe what I'm saying. Go look at the person was on the that interview with Oprah, and there was an audience of people, and Kamala's on it with Oprah, and then they showed people that are working alongside Kamala's campaign, such as that She-Man, and it was a big dude. It was a big ass dude, and I'm looking, I said, "Oh my God, that's a man." Yeah, that is a man. That She-Man, dressed as a woman, is possibly steering her to pass legislation or to get their friends in high positions of power. And in this interview with Judge Joe Brown and Candace Owens, Judge Joe Brown says on the interview that there was someone else. What was that now? There was some type of political organization. I don't want to give wrong information. The person is an Ashkenazi, and they are the chairman of some left organization, part of the government. And again, it's about, and they're running something that is heavily tied with Black American voters or Blacks that are in government. But this Ashkenazi is running it. So again, you have an organization that has Black people, but the chairman of that organization is an Ashkenazi, and they're passing legislations that is not in favor of the Black community, but they're using you as leverage, Black America, to get their agenda uh, become law. It's sneaky. It's sneaky. And you have to stop believing in certain people. Look into organizations. Who are they all about? All these fraternities or sororities. Who are they all about? These sorority places. I'm going to say it. I've seen, uh, and I was told, you have so-called Black sororities in America. Oops. And these Black sororities are also in other countries, not just the United States, as I thought, but they're all over the world. You have sororities that are international. These so-called Black organizations are sororities and fraternities, and they actively recruit. Sorry about that, Maya. My batteries are running low. Yeah, you have these organizations, Black sorority organizations, and they heavily recruit light skinned Black people. And it sounds stupid for me to say that, but it is true. If the person has a lighter skin, or they have a straighter texture hair, they are actively recruited. Why is that, people? So how could you say this is a Black sorority, but they're not actively looking for uh, darker skinned women? Maybe now for their politics, but look at it. It is an overwhelmingly large number of these sororities and what the women look like. And if they are a darker skinned woman, they better have a lot of credentials. They have to have a lot. You don't have to have as much credentials if you're a lighter skin, mixed race looking Black woman. Okay? So how could they be lovers of the black seeing colorism? You don't want any organization that is about colorism, but utilize blackness for winning votes. They permeate your neighborhood. They want to know who's coming in and out of those neighborhoods. Yeah, they set up some of them, like I'm from Queens, they set up an office in St. Albans, Queens. Why? Why? That neighborhood is really going down the tubes. It's right next to South Jamaica, Queens, St. Albans. It's a rough neighborhood. Some parts are really rough, but they have it there. Why? They want to know who's coming in and out of these places. Yeah, they opened up a like an old folks home. Oh, isn't that nice to open up a old folks home? Oh, is that nice? They want to know who's coming in and out, who's dying, who's what, to get statistics on your community. They're not about the black community. They never have. They are about their agenda. Yeah. And many people join these organizations because they think, oh, if I join a sorority or fraternity, black fraternity, they're going to help you get a job. Well, uh, you'll be a puppet of theirs. You will be a puppet. And it goes to show you how could someone, oh, sad, lost train of thought. Something just popped up on my screen. Yeah, people are running for office and they're not about you. They're not really representing the black community. They are representing an aim, and they utilize anybody to reach that goal of control over you, and then they get rid of you. Hear that again. Then they would get rid of you. Stop giving away your votes to these wannabes on paper, and then when they're there, they don't represent you, like Obama, like all these people with these weird ass biographies. Similar scenarios that something happens to a parent and then they remarry and then they move to these exotic places and then you come back to America and then you want to be a part of the black community. But yet they never did anything that helped the black community. But then again, they want to shame you. They want to shame you now with election year that if you don't vote black, you're a sellout. Who is the real sellout? People like Kamala and people like Obama. They are fly by night. They've never represented you. They don't love you. And Kamala isn't even married to a black person. And investigations are being shown that Kamala doesn't even have relatives. That the relatives that she claims in her autobiography uh, and people from Jamaica, relatives of Kamala, are coming forward and say, hey, that's not so. That is not the people, that is not her grandmother or great grandmother. People are lying. And Kamala's background, that if her true grandmother is this particular person, that this person, but Sir Buster, what's it, Buster Brown, something like that, Sir Buster something, that this person in Jamaican history had rounded up the Rastafarians of Jamaica and forcibly shaven their dreadlocks off, and many of them got hurt. And I think it was said that many of them got killed. It was an like a open policy to get rid of the Rastafarians from Jamaica. And Kamala's true um, relatives was in link with that particular person. So they want to hide that grandmother had. Yeah, there was communism or communist like leanings that were being enforced in Jamaica in the far past in the 1940s. I think they said it happened around 1944. You go look up that information about uh, a political movement that was to destroy the Rastafarians living in Jamaica. Okay, look it up. I'm going to look it up now. Yeah, that is an evil. Yeah, if you're related to someone like that and want to kill off Rastafarians. Yeah, I used to live in the Caribbean, but not in Jamaica. When I say I never lived on Jamaica, never been there, but I lived in the Caribbean for a couple of years, and yes, there are people who sport the dreadlocks, and they are not like Rastafarians or people who have that attire are not liked in the Caribbean. Yeah, that was 30 plus years ago I was there. They're not liked. So, yeah, this will be very interesting. If that is if her true grandmother was affiliated with that person that tried to exterminate Rastafarians, that is something you wouldn't want people to know. So that is why in Kamala's autobiography, those people that she has in a book, she's trying to link herself with anybody that has a black face, calling them relatives, and they are not. And allegedly, those people that she claims is her black relatives were people who were employed by her family. They had worked. Uh, Kamala's family had land, and they were land. They were a major slave owners and had a lot of property. And post slavery, they still have blacks working on their fields, and it seems as though uh, data seems to suggest that the people in Kamala's autobiography are not her black relatives. They are not. She may not even have black relatives, and those people may just actually be Indians and Irish background. And then her mother is an Indian. So she is mostly Indian, but is trying to get the black vote and trying to get in the White House. So someone who is covering their own lineage and imposter black people. Oh, I remember the other thing that happened. And I made mention of this about South Asians lying about their identity being black. I was told by a relative. They were from the Caribbean. They moved to the U.S. They had rented a room from another person that came from the Caribbean, and they were an Indian family in origin, Asian Indian, like from India. They had moved to the Caribbean, and then from the Caribbean to America. They're living in New York City, but back in the 1920s, there was a ban. I don't know the correct terminology, but with immigration, um, Asian immigration was blocked in America. Asian immigration back then in the 1920s was blocked. They could not enter the country. But this particular South Asian Indian man, to get into the country, lied, even though he was from the Caribbean, born in the Caribbean, but he racially was Indian. So how he entered was that he called himself a black man, and then they let him in. So yes, the black vote, the black identity is a very valuable identity, even in the 1920s, even with racism and segregation in America. Still, the black card was valuable, and people from South Asia are utilizing that card. It is a powerful card, and it's being utilized, and it's against you because if someone is lying saying that black, let's say they have a quota of how many immigrants from a particular demographics or country could enter America. And once that quota is up, those people who should have been able to get in, if people were honest, oh, they're now not able to go in because now the quota is filled, so to speak. People are utilizing the black label get, and they're getting over you. They're getting over you. They're utilizing the abilities to get into the country, to be able to reap the joys and the money that America does have for people who are willing to work hard. People don't want to just give you things anymore. You have to work for it because now you have other people who can lie. They can shave their hair bald. They have their natural black skin, and they say, I'm a Negro. I'm a black man. And they get the program, and not you. Okay? Love yourself and protect your own. Protect your heritage. That's what I'm getting at. Protect your heritage. Protect your institutions because they're being taken over by non members who are using it for their advantage. And in the end, it is not for the Black Americans' benefit, okay? Start loving yourself. Start being protective and start asking questions. Just because someone likes hip hop doesn't mean they're about you. They'll do anything to get into positions of power and trust over you. They know that Black people like to trust other people because they said something flattering them. Stop Start to see through the flattery and start seeing what they're really about. Test them, watch them, ask people about them. Hey, are they really from this heritage? What's this person's background? How did this about where did Obama come from? You should have been asking questions. And now people like Obama now are trying to shame the black community that if they don't vote for Kamala or they're being sexist or this or that. Baloney. You have a right to vote for who you want to vote for, regardless of race, color, whatever. Vote for who represents your beliefs. It's about your beliefs. If someone has the same beliefs as yours and they have politics that are in alignment to your beliefs, then that is someone that you should consider, not because of what they look like, or not because they're sorority sister or frat boy. Stop it. It's being used against you. And they're relying on your trust for labels over the what political party like the Democrats. Don't just go into it because your folks were a Democrat. So what? If they change their politics, maybe the Democrats used to have a particular attitudes, but attitudes change. Their politics change. So maybe it's telling you you should change too. If it's no longer in alignment with your beliefs, then change. But change what is according to your morals, your standards, okay? Yeah, my batteries are getting low here. I have to charge up my phone. Thank you again. Yeah, those of you just coming on board. Yeah, I initially made mention regarding my little dog, my dog Lavender. He's back in the hospital again. He's not well. His immunity is going down again. He lost a lot of weight. So he's going to be at the hospital for the weekend. He's being monitored. Please pray for him, his recovery, and the full story is in the beginning of this video. Thank you again for listening, watching. Yeah, it feels very weird being alone in this place without my little boy. Yeah, my two other dogs, as many of you know, had passed away in January. He's the only little fur baby left of the three. Yeah, I really want him here by my side. So please, again, pray for me. Um, and pray for my little dog Lavender. Okay, peace, love, and joy to all of you, and I wish your family you who you want to win because of the values. Okay, not because of color or a political party. Okay, because it's going to be used against you. So peace, love, joy, and harmony. protection to all who are listening to this. Okay? Thank you again. Bye bye.